And now a story that's been out there for a while, and that is that bullies and cowards are going to face greater penalties for breaching protection orders to crack down on domestic violence. Now, the Status of Women Minister Ms Gago wants to give protections set out in intervention orders greater weight in custody battles to stop offenders using the family court process to continue harassing their victims. So what the Minister has suggested is that she wants to tighten these intervention orders, considering harsher penalties and moves to make it harder for abusers to manipulate family court orders. Now, what I want to do today is talk to somebody who can kind of tell you from the grassroots how this whole thing works, because I've often been told anecdotally when people have been in dispute, one party or the other, where things are pretty sour, and you have to go to the point where you get this order that nobody can come near you and contact you either directly or indirectly, and theoretically already, I was under the impression that the rules, if you break them on these intervention orders, are pretty tough, but the problem has been that they haven't really been properly enforced. So let's talk to Senior Associate at Tyndall, Gask & Bentley, Rachael Shaw. Rachael, what's your reflection on this, and good morning?
Morning, Leon. Look, I was interested to read the comments by the Minister today, because I can tell you that from a practical point of view, the intervention orders, as they're called in the Magistrates Court, or restraining orders, have been enforced strictly. I've noticed a definite surge since the comments made by the coroner resulting from the Abrazimadad inquest and the death of Miss Abrazimadad. And I've definitely seen the police charging people with breaching intervention orders a lot more readily, and also the courts punishing people for breaching those orders in a much more serious way.
So do we need stricter penalties then?
Well, the penalty at the moment is a maximum of 2 years imprisonment for somebody who breaches an intervention order. And it's important to bear in mind that an intervention order does not necessarily suggest that someone has behaved in criminal behaviour. If they had done anything criminal, then they would have been charged with a criminal offence. So if someone has an intervention order or a restraining order against them, it's not a criminal offence. It doesn't suggest they've committed any criminal conduct. Sometimes intervention orders can simply be an agreement or an order from the court that so-and-so can no longer text the other person or email. So there's quite a broad spectrum of intervention orders that are in place. There are definitely intervention orders in place for people who have committed a serious assault or a violent assault, and they will be punished for that criminal offence, and also have an order that they can't go near the person. But there are also much more minor matters where an intervention order can come into place, which purely keeps parties who are arguing at bay, and that doesn't reflect any criminal behaviour at all.
So are you implying then, Rachael, that to have a stricter penalty for that would be unfair?
Well, it wouldn't appear to be necessary. 2 years maximum term of imprisonment is a serious penalty. The courts look unfavourably upon any acts of violence against a domestic partner or a former domestic partner, and they are very quick to hand down harsh penalties for people who do breach those orders.
So again, what's in a nutshell, the idea that bullies and cowards face greater penalties, you're telling us that if they assault someone, they're going to be charged with those matters anyway, which are serious.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. They're going to be charged with a criminal offence if they assault someone, and they're going to be punished by the courts depending on how serious that assault is. In addition, if the victim wants an order in place to stop that person coming near them again, they can also ask for that order in place, and the courts are more than willing to make an order in those terms.
So is this sabre-rattling then?
I'm not sure, Leon. All I can say is since the coroner's remarks in the Abrazimadad inquest, there has been a definite increase in intervention orders being put in, definite increase in people being charged with breaching, and tougher penalties by the courts being handed down.
Well, I thought that's what we want.
It is. It is.
All right. Well, look, Rachael, thank you. You've been such a clear speaker, and I'd love to talk to you again on these matters.